What do we have here? Check this shit out, man. Look at that finish on this Maxace Black Mirror blade. Such really nice stone washing, just like nearly perfect finish on it. It's got a little bit of machining showing on this part, which, you know, some people might complain about because maybe it's not perfectly smooth. But guess what? As you close the knife, it makes a cool little sound as your detent ball, which would be, whoopsie, your detent ball, which would be there, rubs on that surface and locks in to open or locks in to close. So you get a neat little sound as your detent ball runs around on this milled surface. I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see, but there's a little milling lines across here that are also kind of polished too. It's super interesting. I had this Maxace apart. It's a Maxace Black Mirror, and I had it apart doing some sweet milling, not milling, sanding, and then anodizing. So we did the pocket clip with a lightning anode, did this part with two different color electro anode, getting it put back together now, and I just thought, you know, I want to show off some of the internals of this guy before it's even back together. Just really strongly built. You could do some cutaways in this to make it a little lighter, but they don't, so it's just freaking just solid chunk of titanium here. This guy, same way. Oh, it's got little collars around the pivot, and I got to do those with heat anode too, so they match the back spacer and the pocket clip. They even match the bearings. I don't know what the deal is with the color on these bearings. I think maybe they're brass or copper race around the bearings. Look at that. Dual row bearings on a little tiny knife. I mean, it's not tiny, but it's not a real big knife. But they put these gigantic ass bearings in there. They just don't fuck around at Maxace. They make shit solid. They just do. It's just solid. Look at this. So this is the pivot. Look how they did the pivot. You have a D-shaped pivot, but it's not D-shaped all the way across. So it goes into, not that side. So the pivot can't go into the side that has a D-shaped hole. Because if you try, it'll only go in that far. It won't go in any further because it's stopping at the edge of the D-shape, that cutaway, right? So you put it in this side, and then you have to line it up on the other side. Now, why is that good? Because your blade is turning on a perfectly round surface, not a D-shaped surface. The D is only past where the blade is, okay? So it's a better way of doing it than a fully D-shaped pivot. So little things like that, man. Maxace doesn't fuck around. They do a good job. Let's get this guy. Oh, look at the size of that stop pin for a fairly small blade. Look at that shit. Compare that to the average stop pin in a knife is like this size. So Maxace's is the size you would need, you know, in a huge knife, like a big fucking gigantic fucker. All right, but that's what they do. Is it even? Yeah. So this is a big ass knife. This stop pin in the Maxace is either the same or bigger than this gigantic freaking Tucson. Okay. They just make everything big, beefy, and strong. All right, let me get it back together, and I'll show you its features. What do you think? I think it has some nice grind lines there that show some cool colors in the light. This back edge rock grinding is Gavko Style, so inspired by Michael Gavko with his shark knives, like the Hyphen and the Nurse Shark and those other ones he has. He especially on his customs, he does edge grinds kind of like these. More nice and even and regular. Mine, of course, and I'm still learning, so mine are kind of, you know, one side looks one way, one side looks another. Actually, this one was done at 2 different times. I had done a little bit of one a while back, and then I just finished up that one. So one of them was hard to match the colors too. But anyway, this is my you know, interpretation of his edge grinding. This grinding is just kind of like my deal that I do. I'm sure it's like somebody else's, but I didn't really copy this style off of anybody, other than just the generality of rock grind, you know. So let's pop it open. Look at the that's interesting. I have the body frame, or the body screws tightened, or the one body screw tightened really well, but I see a gap between the body and the back spacer right there. Interesting. Wonder what that's about. So nicely, it has really nice action, pretty well centered. Even after being heated up and electrified and zapped and punished and beaten. Boy, the inside of the frame turned out interesting. It's kind of a greenish blue. I don't know if you can see that on that lock bar right there as it's pushed over into the middle. Kind of has like a greenish hue to it. Kind of neat. I even tried to grind the inside edge of the bevel on the edges of the body. Now, one thing I meant to do, but I didn't remember to, I was going to take this side and cut it down a little bit to more match this side. But I freaking forgot. It was so long ago that I decided that I was going to do that. Once I got to it, I forgot about that. So I never did it. Because it's almost like, you know, you want your lock bar to be easily accessible, but man, that is so much of a difference between here and here. It's just kind of weird. It doesn't need to be that much, but it definitely lets you unlock it easily. And it's not, you know, it's no problem really. It doesn't feel bad in your hand or anything. Feels good. You can see the lightning ammo on that pocket clip there. Pocket clip sits just a hair off of the body. I can fix that, but for now it doesn't really bother me, and it kind of gives a neat little ting to things, like when it closes. If you can hear that. So, great knife, overbuilt little tough little knife, M390, obviously titanium. Just really good build. Great opening methods, reverse flick and thumb flick, and slow roll. Just a really great knife. That might be a bottle opener. I don't know. Probably not. A Maxace Black Mirror in blue, in this case, not black. Boy, it would look good DLC over this pattern. Boy, that's a little sharp there. Man, I meant to take down these edges too of the relief cuts. But man, around the edges they're a little sharp. Let's see if I can feel that. Because the pocket clip is so close. Yeah, if I move my hand in sort of a jerking off motion, you can kind of feel the sharpness there. So just don't do that, and it'll be fine. What a great little knife, man. Great, tall, flat grind. Man, just look at that tumble finish. Looks so nice. Man, they do a good job. Maxace is no joke, man. Heard something rattling. I think it's just the pocket clip. Man, such a good job. I will have more Maxaces. I think I've had probably four or five Maxaces over the years. Probably 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure it wasn't 5, because I have 2 right now. I think is all. 2? 1, 2. Yeah, I think that's all I have right now. I've had like 2 others, I think, so 4 total. And I'll have more for sure. I love Maxace. They just do such a great job. They do OEMs for other companies too. I think they even do for Microtech, the SOCOM, right? Great stuff. Maxace Black Mirror. Grab you one if you get a chance. And have a nice day.